So for the next task, we need to grab ourselves a shell. Now, what I've done pretty much, I was looking around and I found that home.php. Looking at it, I saw a few things that was more like a sellout. Beyond the fact that we can see the API key, somewhere around here, you see the way this construct works. It's subject to injection attack, specifically SQL injection. So we'll be doing some SQL injection stuff here, taking advantage of the fact that this construct happens this way past that value. We're going to see how we can probably use this. So what I've done basically, I try to navigate through that path. Basically, look here, that's the IP, API, and PHP document ID, just the way it works here. Grabbed everything and constructed this link. Then I staged burp suits to intercept that request. So turn intercept on. Then I went all the way here. Burp intercepted the request. Then what I did for in burp, sorry about my screen management. I grabbed this pretty much, and I'm just going to stop intercept, minimize this. Then I created a file. If I cut the content of request to text, response to text, sorry, you see that should be request to text. Sorry about that. You see I just pasted that request here, which I captured because that's the request to the server. Then I used the SQL map to see if I can actually perform an injection attack to dump the database. So I'm going to execute this command, and we see it was able to dump the database. So it showed us that there's information schema, my first website, MySQL, performance schema, and sys. So obviously it is vulnerable. So we'll be moving on with this, taking advantage of the fact that it's vulnerable. We'll see what if we can probably, maybe, I'm not sure, I'm just thinking around. I haven't proceeded from this point on. So maybe we can still use SQL map to see if we can probably set this thing up to be able to create a directory or something like that. So we're going to see if that works. I'm going to use practically the same command, but I'm going to change a few parts. I'll go after that directory, my first websites. Okay, I hope that spelling is correct. Then I'll pass the flag OS shell. Let me see if I can create this in that directory. If it works, then we're good to go. All right, so look at that. It's asking us what kind of web shell do we want to go after. I think we'll go for PHP. Paste for that. Do you want SQL map to further try to provoke disclosure? Well, I think at this point we don't really want that, so we put in no. Then it's asking us what should it do? Should it custom location for the bar, or probably brute force search? I think I'd rather go for brute force search. So it does everything. Then it's asking us to use additional custom. Now at this point we can set it up to go, because after looking at here, they gave a blind hints var. So I took advantage of that, or I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to set myself up for that. So I'll pass the var then HTML here as additional custom directory that I want to enter. Okay, then I'll push this button, then allow it to do its thing. Once it's done, we should be able to create a link or web shell. So look at that. If I may just close this, so we can see that it successfully uploaded that in var.html, and this is the link to it. Then there's also a backdoor that has been successfully uploaded. Probably more or less both of them can work. So I'm going to just grab this one and browse to that directory. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to just turn off this pop thing so it doesn't give me a headache. Then I'll go this path and see we can reach it. So from this point, I think for me it's very much game over, because the walkthrough will now be more like a repeated activity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a payload using MSF Venom. I think we're going to create a PHP, maybe we'll do a PHP metapreter. Then, sorry, man, then we'll do a reverse, I think we'll do a reverse TCP. Then we'll pass the L hosts. This has to be our IP address, so I'm going to quickly do IP config here, or IP. Then I'm going to grep for 10 dots. I just want my thorn 0, which is this one here. I'm going to copy it. Then I'll pass that as my L host. Then I'm going to choose a random ports. So L ports, I'm just going to give it a random 14455. Then we'll set the formats to raw. Okay, let's see if this will work. I see I've typed PHP. So let's create this payload. What we're going to do is we're going to grab that payload and more or less upload it in here, and we'll call it. Let's see if it created the payload. I see there is an error. Did it work? Okay, yeah, I did. So this seems like the payload. I'm going to copy this. I probably would have passed it out to a file, but it's fine. I'll just shell or initial access dot. Okay, I don't want this now. Give me problem. Initial. I think we'll just call it maybe initial dot txt, or probably we'll just call it something. Since it's a PHP, so we'll call it initial dot PHP. Oh, sorry, I should be passing nano initial. Then I'll paste this thing in there. It all looks pretty much clean and okay. So we're going to save this. Then if we list the content, we can see our initial.php should be there. So let's browse to that directory and upload our initial.php. So it's in download, Borderland, initial.php. So let's see if it allows us to upload it, then we should be able to. Okay, seems like that works. I'm not sure what error message is that, but we're going to try to see if we can go call it. But before we do that, let's set up ourselves to catch a reverse shell that will come back to us. So I'm going to clear this string, sudo su. Sorry. Wrong password. Okay. I'm going to start MSF console. Let me see if I can use a handler to catch. It was 4455 we used. So let's see if we can catch a reverse shell coming back to us on 4455. We'll just stage that up. Then we'll use probably exploits multi-handler. Okay, that looks pretty much good. Generic, maybe we'll set the payload. Let's say we'll do PHP based on what we use. Method operator. Reverse TCP. That looks pretty much fine. Then we'll set L ports 4455. Then we'll set L hosts to our thorn 0. We want this to be thorn zeros. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Look at that messed up stuff. Okay, we're going to have to clean all that thing off. Sorry about the time. I thought I had my IP address still hanging in there. I just wanted to paste it. Then I realized I made a mess of myself. You're going to be seeing this mess because I'm not going to cut this out. Maybe it's a way to catch my break. Okay, it's almost there. All right, so let's set this to turn 0. I could probably pass turn 0 there, but I don't know if it's going to give me a problem or something. So I'm just going to pull up a new terminal and IPADDR. Then we'll grab for 10.0. No, 10.8. I think I've seen 10.8. Yeah, that's it. So copy this quickly, minimize this, then I'll paste that in here. That should be our listening host. Then I think it all looks pretty much fine. Then we can exploit this thing or just run this thing. Okay, we'll start up the listener. Then we'll go to, we have uploaded something here. So let's see if we can navigate and probably fire it up. If it will give us a callback, I'll copy this. Then I'll paste this here. Then I'll go to, we call it initial.php. So look at that. So we see our meta product thing is telling us about there's a communication going on there. Then we grab ourselves our shell, initial access. So who am I? Just, get UID. So we can see what data going to work in directory. So we should have a flag. From what they said, the flag should be flag.txt. So let's say I go back and list the contents or cap the content of flag.txt. And I'm going to grab that and go submit it quickly. Okay, so we got this one. Up to the next one. So the next one seemed like we'll be pivoting to the router because we're seeing we're already on the server, and now it's asking us to pivot to the router. Can we maintain a level of persistence here? Let me see. So in case I get kicked out or because I have to go to work, I'm able to come back and still maybe let's see. Is this a Linux box? Is this a Linux box or Windows box? Let me just see. I'm not sure it's a Windows box. It's a Linux box. So can we probably is this a root shell or just a normal user shell? Can we try to do the cheats and the Python stuff? See if we can use that to maybe grab ourselves a stable something that we can interact with, an interactive shell. Then from there we can probably see what we can do. I think that might work out for us. We'll try to see if we can use the Python import pty thing. If it will work, I don't know if it's going to work. If it works, then probably it's good for us. I'm just going to find around. Let's see, Python 3, or I can verify if it's there. Okay. Python 3 should be in here. So Python 3, then we're going to do the tag C, then we're going to pass that import. I think we're going to import pty. Maybe that will work for us. Pty. Then break that up, pass the pty.spawn. See if we can spawn probably maybe a bean, a bash shell. I don't know if that's going to work. Bean bash. Then we'll wrap this up, we'll close this up pretty much neatly. Then we'll put this in. Let's see. Okay, that gave us a bash shell. So can we sudo tag-l? Let's see. Okay, so there seems to be no root thing happening here. Can we cut the content of tc shadow? Obviously permission denied. I expect that. Okay guys. All right. So pretty much it should be up to the race to working out a way to elevating privilege. Maybe we can stage a Python server, if config. Let's see. Command not found. IP addr. Okay, so that works. Seems like a new one. What do we have in the 172.18? Interesting. 172.16. So this seems like a 172 network happening here. Okay, so we're going to see. I'm seeing this broadcast, multicast, and all this stuff. This seems more like we'll be able to from this point get into the router.